Hello, everybody. Feel like standing up. Good afternoon, Texas bikers across the nation and the world. Welcome to Popeye Live. It's Friday afternoon, September 10th, 2021, a day before we remember what happened on 9/11, the worst attack on American soil in history. And I wanted to drop by this afternoon to say a few things about it. Everybody remembers where they were that day. And I was in my motorcycle shop called Moto Shack. And I was there early before we had opened for the day. And my wife called me and said, are you seeing what's happening on the news? Now, I did have a television that ran in the showroom floor 24/7. It was on. And it was on the news also, but I was busy shuffling things around. But my wife brought my attention to the plane that had just run into the World Trade Center. And I went to the television and I got there just in time to see the second plane fly into the second building. I don't remember which tower that was, but I knew immediately that it wasn't a small plane that ran into the World Trade Centers, because that's my business, or it was my business for 30 years. So yeah, I knew what it was immediately. And of course those two planes were full of fuel, and excessive heat's what caused those buildings to go down. There's many people out there that will tell you different than that, but they're generally trying to sell you something. Is they'll sell you a book, they'll sell you a video, they'll do whatever. But I think one of the best articles I ever read about it was by Popular Mechanics that went through the whole scenario. But, so for 20 years we've been in foreign lands fighting terrorists. And here we are 20 years later, and look where we're at. Now, there'll be plenty of people that'll be talking about that event tomorrow. I don't need to go over it and tell you what it was all about and everything else. But you know it's not being taught in our schools. And if you listen to some of the audio that's out there, when they ask college students about 9/11, they don't talk about the people that died. They don't talk about the tragedy, the terrorists. They don't talk about them. What they talk about is Islamophobia and left-wing crap like that. How we shouldn't blame another religion. That's what they talk about. That's what they talk about now. That's what they've been taught. Now, it's not taught at all in elementary schools, junior highs, high schools. But that's what they're getting in college. Just saying, everybody. Just saying. And it should be frightening for all the parents out there, because they haven't done a good job of checking out what their kids have been taught. Everybody's had the easy life, as our young men and women went to fight these people and keep the homeland from being attacked again for 20 years. Now we're negotiating with the very people that brought us 9/11. 2001. It's incredible what we've seen going on, but I can tell you, I do hope the families and other people tomorrow that are attending these events, especially the ones that are attending events where Joe Biden is going to be speaking. You know, I have dreams that they turn their backs to him or walk out, or hell, throw rotten tomatoes at him. Something. It can't be just one mother that's willing to speak up. It can't be. And everything that the potato head is doing is designed to cause chaos and bring down this country. Everything he's doing, everything he's touching. Like we saw yesterday, his attempt at turning the page to something other than Afghanistan with all the mandates. First of all, they're unconstitutional. Second of all, he's trying to get businesses to do it for him by threatening jobs. Let me say this right now. Businesses of all kinds, even big businesses, are struggling to hire people. I see help wanted signs everywhere I go. Everywhere I go. Guess who has leverage here? We do. These companies can't afford to get rid of their workforce over a shot, over a jab. They can't afford to lose workers. But yet, you look and see what's going on, what's really going on, as he's mandating this stuff for the American people. He's bringing people into this country every day by the thousands and not requiring them to get vaccinated. And yes, 20% of them have the COVID. 20%, everybody. This is ludicrous. But yet, this is what it's all about. They're trying to turn the page, get our attention somewhere else other than Afghanistan. And we cannot let him get away with it. We can't. We can't. And I promise you, when 2022 comes around, about 14 months from now, when we go into the next election cycle, they're going to try and do it again, everybody. Because there's no way let me tell you, the people are going to rise up. They're going to rise up. Everybody, Democrat, Republicans, everybody, this cannot continue. This can't continue. And it can't continue at this pace. Why people aren't out in the streets, I do not know. Is this going to be the trigger? Is this going to be where we've had it? I don't know. But yeah, the brain damage, 14 months goes by quick. I promise you, I've been in this election game for a while now. Since 2001, when I retired, when I shut everything down. Since then, these election cycles come around quicker than you think because they're already campaigning everybody. They're already in the background. Let me tell you what they're doing. They're already in the background choosing who's going to get this judgeship, who's going to get this legislative office, who's going to get this congressional office. They're already planning in the background. That's going on now. Now. So we had better learn how to vet these people and how to figure out who's lying and who's not. Because as we see, what we've gotten over the years, over the decades, is a bunch of bullshit. Bullshit artists. Professional liars. Is what it is. What we're going to do, first thing we've got coming up is this thing on October 3rd, the Ride for Justice to Milam County. I'll be working hard over the next several weeks to make sure that we've reached out to as many people as we can to come out and attend our event, to know what it's about, and to educate the people in Milam County about jury nullification. Now, what we would like to see is that judge drop the charges, because that's what he should do. That would be the right thing. But the judge and the prosecutors have been colluding with each other for 3 years now. It's time for it to stop. It's time for it to end. The 24-year Army combat veteran, Purple Heart, 2 Bronze Stars, he's not guilty of anything. He's not guilty of the charges. And he needs to have his CHL back. That's what he needs. But we're going to be working at it. We're going to be working hard at making that the most successful event we can. And hopefully the judge sees the light. If he don't, he needs to give us a trial date or drop the charges. It's that simple. And you know what? Other cases similar, that is exactly what's happened. They've dropped the charges, especially when they know they're going to lose. That's the truth of it. And then after that, we're going to get political. We're going to get real political. Everybody stand by, and I know a lot of bikers don't like the political stuff, but this is what we do. I mean, there are plenty of others that have different shows that, pit the clubs against each other and stuff like that. That's not what we're about. We're about the political side of this. We're about the Constitution, who's in great peril. I mean, the potato head is just doing whatever he wants, knowing he doesn't have the authority to do it. And if we don't stop this now, we're going to deserve what we get. That's the truth of it. It's time for us to stand up. We stand up for our community. We stand up for our city, our state. Stand up for our country when we can, when we don't have idiots ruling the day, making idiotic decisions. And it's like I said one time, or I've said it many times, when I was talking to our political consultant. You know, who watches the president? What if he goes rogue? Who watches him? And the answer to that question was nobody. Nobody. And you know, that's quite apparent. Being the FBI for 4 years didn't lift a damn finger. What a piece of crap they are. And now we have the Justice Department suing Texas. You know what? That's our business. Whether we're going to allow abortions to go on is our business. If they want to go to another state and get an abortion, I guess more power to them. But for the most part, they're killing black babies. Now we've got some brothers coming in tonight from Arizona. We're all excited about that. They're going to get in late, very late. And meanwhile, we're riding over to Strokers tonight, over in Dallas. OG's got to get some patches sewed on. And then tomorrow we have church. And for those of you that are not bikers, church is our monthly club meeting. And that's probably going to last a while tomorrow, being we have guests in from out of town. But as always, our meetings are interesting. We have fun. Yeah. And it sets the tone for everything else that's going to happen. Hey, and I did post Sasquatch's article today on Sons of Liberty Riders MC on Facebook. And of course, we never edit Sasquatch's post, his stories. So get by there and read it. It's told only as Sasquatch can do it. That's the truth. And let me say hi here to Brain Damage, Randy Russell, DeWitt S. Greenfield. How you doing? I don't know. I've seen that one before. And In God We Trust. Jerry, how are you doing, buddy? Man. You know, I didn't expect to come on this afternoon, but yeah, I thought, you know, I've got to come on and just, because tomorrow's going to be a busy day. Going to be a busy day and probably a busy evening tomorrow too. And I think we got some guys that are going to ride out and meet these guys coming in from Arizona. And I don't know where they're going to meet up at. I'm a night owl, so I may go too. How you doing, David? How's your foot? I guess it's okay. Now this the chat line runs about maybe 20 seconds behind what I'm saying to you guys. But man, trying to think of something else that I should say before me sign off. We see we're on 21 minutes. Let's go back to Biden for a second and the mandates, where he's, and you know the thing about it is, this company is made up of hundreds of thousands of small businesses that have less than 100 people. And they're not going to be able to mandate anything to anybody because they need their employees. And I just believe there's going to be all kinds of pushback over this. You know, like I said, is this going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back, you know? Is this going to be it? Is this going to be when we've had it? I surely hope so. Because I do believe until we are in the streets with a giant pushback, and you know, it has to be something that affects everybody, Democrats and Republicans, like this. Because I promise you, blacks are leery of vaccines and shots and things mandated by the government. And who can blame them? Who can blame them? That's right, Jerry. It's tyrannical. It is. And we can't stand for tyrants in that position. We can't stand it. And you know, the one thing they always fail to mention when they're talking about the jab, and you know, included in that 100,000 people he's talking about unvaccinated, there are people that have already had the virus, and they have the antibodies. And the messaging that has come out of Biden's administration and Dr. Fauci, the messaging has been so bad that everybody's confused. But what they don't talk about is how small the percentage is of people that die from this so-called pandemic. And they never talk about the people that have already had it. You won't find that number. You won't find it anywhere. And YouTube, let me tell you, we're stating a fact. Go look for yourself. Go try and find it. Because that should be in the equation of everything. It should be. And yes, I got past the coronavirus without a jab. So, anyway, Israel and India are blowing holes in Biden's claims. I'm going to have to go check that out, Brain Damage. Can you explain it? Real quick. But yeah, I know that Israel is the most vaccinated country in the world. They're somewhere around 90% is where they're at. But like I said, pay close attention, everybody. We're going to be bringing on some politicians onto the show that are here in Texas. I think you guys from around the country will be interested into what they have to say and a Texas perspective on everything. I did talk to Napa the other day. We had a talk with each other, and he says down there on the border it's the same old, same old. They're still finding bodies out there in the mountainous desert. They're still, the DPS is cruising up and down the highways. I don't know what they're doing. Governor Abbott said he was going to surge the border, and it surely hasn't happened in that area. But we will be traveling to the border. We've been invited down there. And yeah, probably late October, we will make that trip. And I'm looking forward to it. It ought to be exciting. We'll get some video. And I don't know I don't know what to expect to see, but I know it'll be interesting. Crazy times, David. You got it right, buddy. Crazy times. You know, I didn't think it could get worse from Obama, but let me tell you, this is tenfold. I went back today. Actually, what I was looking for was some of our 9/11 videos. We used to do a 9/11 memorial ride, and one of the reasons we quit doing it was because at one point we were so saturated with all these groups that were doing the rides, it was beginning to affect the ability to gather some folks. But I'm kind of sad we're not doing one here on the 20th anniversary. But I'm going to post a video in the morning that has to do with the 8 children that died on 9/11. They're rarely ever mentioned, and so I'm going to post that video that's been on TexasBikerRadio.org for years. And if you would, look at Sons of Liberty Riders MC tomorrow on Facebook. You'll see it. And yeah, man. Yeah, it's a shame that we had too many. I don't know that it's that way now. I know there's one that's over here in Kennedale. You should not attend that one. Maybe we'll explain it here over the next week or so. There's a reason. But with that, everybody, have a great weekend, and make sure this is if you have young children, make sure you use it tomorrow as a teaching moment and explain to them what happened that day. Let them know what has happened now. Don't scare them to death, but you know what? We're not as safe today as we were September 10th, 2001. We have now armed the enemy. We are now negotiating with the enemy. We have given them billions of dollars worth of equipment. It's incredible what this administration is doing, and I hope and I pray that people tomorrow, those families, and the people that were so affected by that day, I just hope they turn their backs on that son of a bitch is what I hope they do, or walk out. With that, everybody, have a great weekend. Bye-bye.